Hello, hello, Rhoda here. Welcome to my craft room. I'm so glad you come by today to see what was going on in my little crafty paradise. Today we're going to see this part for our sneaky peek, which is just a pre-made pocket and a card. And then this was one of those side tucks, and I just had a little tiny card in there. I have a tab on the side. Let's see what's on the next page. Another pre-made pocket. So I had a lot of room here I could have wrote, but I don't know why I didn't. I don't think I'm going to go any further because I'm going to be running out of this book here in a few days. Oh, I know I haven't been on here very much to do videos. I don't know. I just needed a break, I guess. And we all get there at one point or the other. So this is my design team project by Wonders by Wink on Etsy. This is her vintage butterfly book, which is what I have all these little pieces of ephemera I've cut out, and I've tried to go through the book and place things in here that I planned on putting on that page. I did a few die cuts. I had a few plants. Some of them I didn't use, like that one. I did a few birds. I had a die cut for birds, and I did them in this brown because it sort of is the color, color theme of this book. So we're going to start here, and as I go through this, you'll be able to see what I chose to put on each page from the original kit. Here I did, this was a full page, and actually I think I did it wrong. This one was supposed to be over here because that is the edge of the book in her digital. And see, here's the edge of the book here, as you can see by the little lines. So I should have swapped them, but I don't think anybody's going to know. And I've already inked all my edges. I just didn't want that white pith core, whatever you call it, to show. This here, I thought, it could be written on like it's got a date or something with whoever gets the book. And they were very cute. There was, I think, 6 of them. And they had a little butterfly with them. So I thought, well, I needed a butterfly on this page. So there it is. This was a happy mail from Paper Crafting with Miss Tommy. And I thought I could put it in here. And it would be like a, this book belongs to kind of a thing. Because I think I was going to try to do it a little along that line. Like it is a book, but I was going to kind of decorate it along the lines of a book. It has sticky notes on it, and keep a good record of life. And I thought I'd put it right there, and they could write something else in their book. This one here, I chose to put this pretty bunch of lace, and there was 4 of these in the kit, in the ephemera part, and they are like I guess a letter, a postcard, something along those lines. It doesn't say postcard up here, so I wasn't really sure. But since I really like this piece of lace down here, and it also has the butterfly, so I don't want to cover it up. Up here is kind of mottled. And so I thought, well, I'll do an upper tuck, like you can go up in there with it. And before we do that, though, I also wanted to do some of this lace. Now, this is lace that I cut out of one of Tim Holt's die cuts, and I'll tell you, it is not a pleasure to cut this lace out at all. It is not. And the butterfly, I have a large butterfly that I chose to put in here as well. That is one of his die cuts. There's just so many little tiny intricate pieces. Now, Celeste from Woodland Inspired, she does that in her Etsy shop and sells the lace. She's found a way to do it that is so much easier, and she makes it look so easy. And I just hadn't found that trick yet Or I probably don't. I have patience, but some stuff I just get tired of messing with. You know how it is. Okay. So we're going to put that little bit of lace like that. Cut our edges so it's trimmed off. And then we're going to put it right down in here. And I'm hoping that lace doesn't hinder anything it wants to go up in that pocket. But I still have pieces and parts over here from the ephemera kit that we will use to do tucks and things like that. And I don't think I mentioned yet, this book, you know, if you've watched the first two, the prep videos, I told you I ripped out 8 pages in between. You may want to plan on ripping out more than that, because this book is already fat. Well, it's not fat. It's just whatever I took out, I've placed it back in again. Because, look at it. It doesn't want to stay shut. I mean, I've been bending and manipulating it and stuff like that. But it doesn't look that bad. It's just that once I'm putting this ephemera in here, it's taking up that extra room that I had. So, and then once I tuck something in here, like say this has got some yellow on it. That would be good there. That puts a little bit of extra bulk in there. you just never know. Now this here, I think I was going to go with a tuck or something. But I have to think about, I did want to have this for like a writing page. So I may keep the mushroom for somewhere else. And I can always put stamps in here, which is what I think I'm going to do right now. And it's sort of a stamp that kind of reflects the alphabet like this one. Now I am going to put this one down at probably the bottom here. And then it'll be also a place you could tuck something and right behind it. But over here I thought I would do something up in this corner with the I think I forgot something on this page back here. I did. I forgot my little birdie. Let's go put my little bird down there. Okay, let's do that. Yeah. So I'll get to stamping on the next page in just a second. I was trying to think of things you can do. You can do stenciling. You can do stamping. And none of those things are going to do to add bulk. None at all. All right. Let me stick this about right here. I'll stagger it a little bit and go down below. I needed to take this brown, this dark brown that I've got on the other side, and try to get it over here. So that's what the idea of the bird is all about. Because that will pull my eye back and forth between the two pages. Okay, birdie dirty. There we go. Plus it's got a little dandelion, some kind of flower on there. There we go. That's a little better balanced. You also have this like bit of background here that kind of reflects that background. All right, let me get my stamp and I will be right back to show you what we're going to do. And I think I'm going to do a double whammy. I'm going to do this shattered stamp first, kind of over top of it, and then I'll come over it with the lettering. But what we're going to use is ground espresso. It's sort of got a dark brown over here, so we'll do the shattered part in the, and then sometimes you can just rub it across there, especially when you got a lot of little tiny lines. It does better than you spouncing it, you know. Yeah, there we go. But I hope everybody had a good Christmas. We did. We had to go over to my parents on Christmas Eve, and we had a nice little meal and finger foods and that kind of stuff. And everything was delicious. And then we went Christmas Day up to his family's. And we had a good time up there. More good food. That old German chocolate cake came, you know, went with me and came back. See, it's very subtle. I might see if I can stamp off what's left on this side. So it's got the same look. Oh, I got 3 Michael's cards, so that's good enough. So I got plenty of shopping left to do. And then we have we had to come home and do our own gifts. Now I need to take this off and put this alphabet on from the inspector. So yeah, we got full, that's for sure. Oh, this is, I'll be back. This is one of those I got to cut the edges off. See all those little lines in there? I think Tim Holtz calls that weeding, when you have to take out all of that excess rubber, but I'm good with it. It can stay there. It helps. Now, I'm going to show you something that I should have did before on probably that page, but I'm going to put my clipboard in behind here so I can get a better stamp. It won't have the bubbly look to it. Ooh. Had to unbury it. Okay, so this is going to be the top of this page, so we're going to stick that right in there, and then we're going to go over it just like this. Whoops, and I'm touching the clipboard part. Let me see if I can slide that up. Oop, there we go. All right, we're good. So get in there and push, 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 and I'm wiggling everything. I'm sorry. There we go. It doesn't need to be an exact science, you know. Sometimes it's more interesting if it's not all there. kind of like when they say, you know, they'd rather see somebody in like a bikini because it leaves a lot more to the imagination. I guess you can see my analogy there. Anyhow, we're going to cut us a hole in the top of this and re-ink it. Just a shallow one. There we go. And actually, I inked it with my vintage photo. There we go. So they know that is a pocket. And I'm trying to think of any Christmas stories to tell you. I tell you, I was going about it the easy way this year. I just gave money. I'm just not into Christmas anymore. That Walmart messed me up big time for any of the holidays. I like to put a lot of time and effort into a handmade gift kind of deal. So just the spending and getting things that, you barely took a thought to. I can't do that. It just doesn't mean Christmas to me. So anymore, I just don't have much of a heart for it. When I was younger, I used to do all kinds of sewing. I didn't do any, junk journals or nothing back then. I did a few kind of books, like recipe books and such, but yeah. You change over the years what you want to do and feel like doing. All right, let's get our piece of lace in here. Right there. I needed something for this bird to set on. So that's what this piece of lace is doing. So he can look like he's sitting near his nest. And this sort of looks like a fence, the top of a fence. A gate. So I can get away with it. And this beautiful blue bird, he's part of the ephemera kit. There was one page of cutouts. That's where the clocks came from, and a few little mushrooms. Okay, so we're going to set him right here like he's standing on the gate. His beautiful little blue tail sticking down. Oh my goodness. There we go. All right, that's on there. And we have our pretty little swallows. That might be his family up here. Over here, we have this typed page. Elizabeth and her German garden. So I'm thinking of this as Elizabeth. And this is a really pretty piece of ephemera from the kit. And I'm going to make it a side tuck. So I want to cut this corner off. I'm going to just round it. And ink it a little bit more. Finish it off. And I'm going to put this right here just by gluing it like that. But I am first going to put a couple pieces of flower or weed. Wildflower. I think these are wildflowers from Tim Holtz. So we're going to go with that. And I did this from a piece of masterboard that had layers on it. And when I went to die cut it out, all the layers seemed to be coming apart, like right there. We'll fix that later. But, yeah, having a little bit of trouble. I liked it because it was brown. Alright, let's see what we can do with that. So, I want to go right up here beside Elizabeth and come down. Then we'll wipe off our excess. Make sure everything's sticking down. Okay. Looks like that piece came off or something up here. I think I need to go up underneath. Well, let me just rip it off. I want a darker color anyway, so that works for me. And then we have this one. I didn't get very many Christmas cards this year at all. I guess everybody was into just sending Merry Christmases on Facebook and things like that, which is okay with me. But kind of makes you wonder about the mail system, because it almost went kaput there at one time because nobody was sending anything. Alright, let's go up here like this. I like this one because I cut it out of like a music page die cut. And there are some pages in here that's got music page. Now see, that page is knocked down. So this page is not down. Alright, now we're going to put our side tuck. And I figured this would be one of several of me decorating this book because we're already at about 20 minutes. So I'm just going to keep decorating to when I thought I needed to stop, and we'll pick up again later. But as I'm going, you're able to see what I put together. Now this was from, gosh, what was it? It was another one of Kyung's kits. I believe I told you at the very beginning when I first was starting to put this together where that came from. Now this I thought would be really cute if it's stuck in here. And you could see her, and that was Elizabeth. And you could use it as a journal card. So I'm going to leave her like right like that. And I could put the mushroom over here. This page is not going to be, you know, able to be written on or anything per se because of the, you know, because the types on there, typewritten stuff. Now, is that about the same color? Okay, this might be good because since it's a garden, we want flowers. So I'm going to put this right in the dead center of the page. And I may make it a belly band. So we're going to do top and bottom glue only. Yeah, we're just going to do it right like that. And I'll see if I've got anything that can go in there. I do have more of these postcards. I guess I could do that. That's got some pink on it and a rose, so we'll go with that. And then I've got these great big pockets in here. Now, I'm not sure if I'm going to fill these pockets with anything but possibly some, you know, notebook paper because it's thin. Now, these two, I have to go back here and show you. These two went way back here to where I was telling you we were going to do a flip up right here. Okay. This was this page. Yeah, see, here's the lining. And the words are right set up. So this was here, and it was being a flip down. And this was over here, and it was a flip down. It was just taking up too much room. So I cut them off, and I brought them forward. Here's me a little butterfly I'm going to put on this page. But I brought them forward to this page where I had the background kind of put in there. And then this was just some scrap of some tea-dye paper that I had. Because I know I was going to put something over this. Well, I was thinking, well, you know, I could do it like this, like a, what do you call it? The chevron pattern. But then I thought, well, no, let me do it this way. Now, this is pretty sturdy because this is some of that Braille paper or piano roll. Maybe it's piano roll. I can't remember. Yeah. We're going to put this down here just like this. And see how it goes. I'm going to have it glued here and here. You're going to have a pocket here. And then you'll have a pocket here. And I thought, well, you know, that's kind of an interesting, it's almost like a diamond. And I thought, well, you know, that's a different kind of a pattern for you guys to go with. And you could use some of your, you don't have to cut off a piece like I did. You could just use some of your scrap. Because you have plenty of book page from creating this book. There we go. Now, I'm using my art glitter glue, but I don't have art glitter glue anymore. I used it all up. I've been working on my Barely Arts again, which is fine. I love Barely Arts. That's what I started with Barely Arts glue. And it has a little bit more wiggle room, so you don't have to go fast, fast, fast. And you have the hold. Holds really well. All right, so we're going to put this one down like we did the last one, just with an L glue. There we go. And we're going to come down like this and meet up with my corner and my side. Now, this is a piece from a clock, and you can see the words coming down. I'm going to kind of hide that. Actually, I was supposed to have been putting this piece on there, but that's okay. I have this little butterfly, and I thought I'd put that butterfly up here, and he's going to kind of hide the word because there's a little butterfly there. So I thought it would look like they're flying together. Yeah, like this. So it kind of hides that. There's his buddy. There. Now, I think that turned out pretty neat. I like that look. Yeah, it still adds the bulk, but it doesn't hinder it from folding and, you know, turning and things. Now, let's look at this and see if there might be a stencil we want to put on here or a stamp. Because it sort of needs something, doesn't it? What have I got over here? I got a few here that I'd picked out. I've actually got some script stamp here, and I got this great big butterfly. I also have a few little plants, which I'm sort of looking at that. Oh, that one came out. And then I've got these, which are pretty interesting too, and has the butterfly on it. So, and then this one only had a big flower and a little one. And I'm still debating on whether I want to use that one at all. Tell you what, we're going to go with this one. And what we're going to do is probably use that one, because I used this one further back. So let's go with that. I'm going to get this out of the way. Oh, got to get up in here and get my stamp holder. Which one did I say I was going with? This one. Yeah, I think that's the one I haven't used. And this is, did I show it to you? This is that Botanical Lodge. I really like it. There. That's a different one. Okay. So what we need to do is we're going to stamp that and put that over there. And I'm going to go ahead and use my ground espresso. We'll get behind it here with a firm surface. If it'll cooperate for me. All right. Let's see what we can get on here. And I'm going to do it like I did before, except where I got to get the butterfly. Sometimes your oxide inks and stuff do a pretty neat stamp, but then sometimes they don't. I'm kind of okay with it being in and out, kind of not perfect because of it being a vintagey looking book. So that's where I'm going with this. It can be halfway there, halfway faded out, that kind of thing. I'm good with it. Okay. Well, that was pretty decent. I'm happy with that. It did well. So we have that to take care of. That little bit that's there. And I don't know that I'm going to put anything here because, we might have something like that there that's going to take the focal. And I think I will. I'll leave that right there. Because I got a little butterfly there. It looks just like him. How convenient. And then I have a deep pocket. Oh, let me get this out of the way. Oh, goodness. All right. So far, so good. We got the first 5 or 6 pages done. Now, this is going to be a simpler one. Oh, and I took that mushroom and just put on that page. That's all right. What else did I have here? Oh. And I have a few things here, and I'm not quite sure that they were with this book's ephemera. Menswear. I'm not quite sure what that is. And then is a little poem. And then we have this with dogs and cats and an owl. And then this one with the lady. So, do I want to go with the lady? Yeah, let's go with her, because I'll use this a little further back. I want to use this mushroom on the next page. That's why I'm doing that. So I'm going to put the mushroom here. I'm going to put a little bit of plant life behind him. And then I got a little butterfly to fly around in the stratosphere. Yeah, so we'll do that. All right, let's get this down first. It looks like I don't have any. I got a piece that got bit off, but that's okay. It might look natural that way. Oh, I remember back in the day when my sister and me used to go to see Santa Claus. I forget where Mom would go. Somewhere in town. we would find a Santa, and we had to sit on his lap, and we would tell him what we wanted. And I don't know if that gave that was before we were able to write, so I guess that gave her an idea what we were looking for Christmas. And then I had this one aunt. Well, it was an aunt and an uncle. Now, I don't know if you ever heard of mumps going down on a person. But I had two great uncles that had mumps, and the way Mom described it, the mumps went down on them, and it made them sterile, where they couldn't have any children. And I guess a known fact or something in the medical field. Um, Now I had the mumps. Uh, our mom said her and her brother had the mumps, and they kept them out in an old shed somewhere until they got over them. I guess so nobody else could contract it. This was like in the early 50s. And, but it didn't affect him like that. So I guess it's just a certain way it'll get you. Well, anyway, this couple never had any kids. So Christmas Eve, Mom would take us down and they would always get us a gift. Well, Aunt Red did not know anything about kids, So she forever got me a doll, you know. I was a tomboy. I don't do dolls, but I didn't say nothing to her. But every year it was some type of a doll. I guess that's what she thought it was a stereotypical present for a little girl. He gave me a horse or a cap gun, something else like that. Ooh, I would have been all over the place. But it was just, we got to go down and see them and spend some time with them. They sort of kept my mom when she was younger and watched out for her. Mom kind of got passed around all kinds of family, but she stayed with them for a little bit. Let's see, I'm going to put that butterfly this way. Okay. There. That's sort of what I wanted to happen. I'm still not happy with something right here. I guess it wasn't wanting to go down. Maybe I didn't have glue on it. And I'm glad I'm almost 60. This March I'll be 60. So I was in the age of when computers were just coming out. There was no we had party lines when I was young. So everything has been advanced since I was little, and I got to see all this stuff firsthand. And I think that's, it's great. It's something that if you live through an area like that, it's better than just reading about it or wondering about it. I think I have one of these little things to go down on this side. And then I have a stamp I want to put up on this side. Where'd they go? Oh, yeah, my little swallow stamps. I want to put this little guy up here. So I'm fascinated with anything my mom and dad will tell me about them being raised. And sorry, I'm reaching for my stamp block. Or how they did things way back when, whereas today, we just take everything for granted. I mean, refrigeration, that kind of stuff. I mean, Dad used to tell me about they didn't have, I guess he didn't have a root cellar. So they took and put a lot of things just back in the garden. They would have a system of putting a stake or something there. They would dig a big trench, and they would go in. I'm not too sure that's gonna, maybe I'll do black for this. But they would go in and dig a big trench, line it with hay, and then they would put their vegetable back into that area with a marker so they knew what was where. And then as they needed it, like they might have needed a carrot, they might have needed a turnip, anything along those lines, they would go out there, look for the marker, and dig it up. And that's what they would do. It's just amazing, the things, you know, and learning about what you can make out of just milk alone is amazing. Then you have a pig. Now, my grandma Rhoda, that's who I'm named after. There is all kinds of stuff to do with pig. And, you know, to be able to use and keep, and oh, it's amazing. And then you've got where she would keep this little tray on the stove, or a little bowl or something, and she had her, when she did her bacon, she put her bacon grease in there, and then that bacon grease was used for all kinds of stuff. Now I know you've probably got you remember that, or you had a grandmother that did that or something. So yeah, it's just amazing to learn all these things. My friend Sandora, she was fascinated and loved these, they call them cat head biscuits over in West Virginia, over next to Kentucky. That's where my family on Dad's side came from. So we go over there, and this lady would make us what they call cat head biscuits. I don't know why I put that lid on there. But I had a friend that she just was dying to know how that recipe worked, because she did homemade cooking it herself at home. And so she wanted to watch her make it. Well, this lady, she had one of those old Hoosier cabinets, and it had like the flour mill on one side, and then a cabinet over here. You had this big drawer, or it was a door that would pull out from the top, and you poured all the flour in there, and then down at the bottom you had the flour mill. It's amazing. I love those things. Anyhow, she watched her step by step how she did that. Now I'll probably go back through here and find a few more things to put in here, but for now I kind of left it as is. Now here is one of the favorites. This, I'm going to cut this guy right in half, and half of him's going on one side and half on the other. And I don't think I'm going to put anything else in there, tell you the truth. I think I'm going to leave him as is. I can't think of what else I could do, unless it be put a little script stamp or something up behind there. So let me think about that. Okay, I decided to take this Crafter's Companion that I had spoke about using right here with the big butterfly. But I've got a nice little script stamp piece right there. I don't have a name. I think I cut the name off. But that is the number for it, in case anybody's interested. But I got this so long ago. I got it on HSN. I went shopping. But I'm putting this piece of acetate behind there, because I don't want to get this on the background, just on the front piece. That's what we're working for. And so let's see how she works. I just want a little bit up here in this corner. Well, is that because I didn't have anything behind it? Probably. Let's slip this in here and see if we can go at it again. Oh, like that. Well, let's see. Everything has to be straight over here on this one edge. That's the only thing. There, yeah, better. Now we're going to do it at the bottom. Like right in here. Oh. Whoopsie, almost did it. And I got sort of a faded look there, so I might just go with that. Yeah, that'll work. Let's do it on this side, see what we can do over here. This will have to be with the other edge, so that'll give us some variation. Let's see, what was I talking about? Gosh. I started in on a story and then I didn't finish it. And now, goodness. Ain't that always the way? Okay, let's go over here and... I don't have a big enough surface, do I? Alright, let's do a little bit here. And then we'll do a little bit down here. That'll give us enough difference. Okay. Right in there. Yep. Works for me. Now, let us get on with it. We're going to get this big old butterfly and we're going to cut him in half. Now, this is perspective butterfly. I know I did a run through all the things I was going to use in this at the very beginning. So if you want to go back, you'll see what I did. Now, this wasn't as bad as the lace to deal with, but it was still bad. And a little bit of a pain to work with, too. I guess anything that's worth using is going to be that way, maybe. And it's going to be kind of a pain to get on here. Ugh. But I had a good time down at my parents'. They didn't open our gifts. They went and they had us open the ones that they got for us, and then Mom wanted to open hers, I guess, Christmas Day. I guess that's what the deal was. So I really don't know what they felt about what we gave them. I think Dad opened his. He wasn't with the program, so he went ahead and opened his. I got him some of his Red Man. And, well, it's not Red Man anymore. It's America's Best. But, yeah. Something he enjoys to do. He's almost 90 years old. Let him enjoy what he can when he can. That stuff is expensive. I guess they're trying to get you to stay off of tobacco. Kind of pricey. Alright, I'm not sure exactly where I need to go with this one. Maybe right there. Yeah, that works for me. Okay. Yeah, he was always Red Man tobacco and Pabst Blue Ribbon beer. Nasty. Nasty stuff. Ugh. After a day of doing brick and block masonry, he needed a little downtime. That was hard on him because his poor old back and everything's in bad shape now. But he made a good living for us kids. We didn't want for too much anything. I try to do what I can for him now. He's a stubborn person, so likes to do it by his own hand, you know. Wants to do his own thing, doesn't want to be a burden. I'm really blessed to have both of my parents still going strong and right next door. Mom runs circles around me. She It's out there in those flower gardens or fish ponds or something. I try not to get out in the sun too much because I always seem to brew up something. Skin something or other. Mm. Oh goodness, this takes a little bit of glue. Some people will put this on a sticky, like a stick background, and then just be able to peel that off. Oh, it almost went over my edge, but I think I'm okay. Just make sure it doesn't glue. There. I watched a good movie last night. It was The Equalizer 2. I think that was Denzel Washington. Ooh, he can play a role. Boy, can he play a role. It was really good. I'd never seen it before. I think I'd seen The Equalizer way back when. Okay. Now that may need a word or something, a phrase. But other than that, I think it's good. I've got a phrase on here somewhere. Oh, on here. Let your spirit soar. So I may see if I can get that to fit somewhere. I don't think it's going to, though. It could be up here. So that'll be later on. You know me, I've always got these final looks or last looks. I can't remember what I call them exactly. But yeah. I have 2 little butterflies left. I think that's all I'm going to do to that page for right now, though. That big old butterfly says it all. Okay, next we have this one. And I believe I was going to go with it as a belly band. But it's going to be up and down. So I need to do the 2 small sides. There. And this was just scraps that I had left over. So I just kind of went and put that over this page. And then we've got this, which is going to be a low belly band. And I'll find something to go in it eventually. All right, I think I'm going to call it quits right now. And re-look at everything I've gone through. Let's do a quick flip through so we can see what we have done so far. And that was about halfway. So I have another video to finish up the looks. Now we put this here and that there for them to personalize the front of their book. We have this little piece here to balance the darkness that's over here. And you can still see the rose, and you have this upper tuck. It's going to be written on. A lot of areas in here can be written on. Now here, you can write on this, plus you can tuck something in there, which I may eventually. I just haven't decided what was going to go where. And I kind of like this patchy look here. Check that out. That's not bad. I like that look. And it kind of lets you know that you can write on there. Now I have a feather stamp or die cut or both. Maybe I got both. So that may start to be put in here because the feather would go with the bird plus the it looks like it's one of those old writing pens, and that's kind of along the lines of what this is for too. Now we have 2 tucks here. Put that one there with Elizabeth. And then we have this one here that is a postcard that goes in here in this sideways belly band. And I may still come back and do a a stencil or a stamp in here? Let's see. Let's think about it. Because this flower is in this, digital quite a bit. So I may cover that up and try to stamp that down there on our next meeting. Because I'm going to go through here and see what I think I might need to do to finish off the pages, or if I should just leave them as is. I didn't know whether to keep it really simple or how to do this. Now, this one did not get glued down all the way. I see it right here. So let's go back in here with a little glue. And put that back down. Yeah, you always want to double check and see what's going on with your adhesive. Okay. Then we have, oh, and I had that there to clean, have something in this section right there. I may even put her on the back of something to make her stand up a little further. And we have this, which is just a little mushroom page with some goodies on it. We have a big pocket here. We have this little personalization piece here that they might want to put a date or something on. But it helps pull your eye down and fill it out like a diagonal here. I know the bird's a little dark. I'm not too happy with that, because I didn't want to really use black in here if I could help it. I may find a way to dampen that a bit. I'll experiment, and then we'll come back and look at that later. There is a little black in some of these butterflies, though. Now, this is one of those little floating pockets, so or it's something where it just goes back and forth, and you'll have something sticking out of it. There's one of the ladies collecting her flowers. And then we had our big butterfly. And that's where we stopped. I had to make sure he didn't glue down, and he didn't. So we're good. Ooh, that one tried to. All right. Well, thank you. Thank you, everybody, for coming to visit, and come back again to see how we finish off this book. And then I've been having a thought on how I'm going to do my cover. Now, see, it wants to come open. I don't know if it's because I didn't rip out enough or what was going on. But I've been trying to manipulate the cover and the spine. I'm wiggling it back and forth. I'm going through the pages and pulling them apart. It lays really nice and flat for me. So it might just be that I need to have a good closure on it. So everybody have a great day. I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.